The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in.
Okay, good evening everybody. Alex here from 5 Figure Fitpros, not in the gym and body clinic. Hope you've all had an absolutely awesome time over Christmas and New Year. I certainly did. Enjoyed the time off, recharging, relaxing, planning for success in 2016. So I hope you guys were too. It's Thursday, 7th January now. We're a week into the new year. And we've got our 4th online training, which tonight is all about converting clients. Okay, so essentially what we're going to be talking about here tonight is the science of sales and converting those leads that you get into full paying clients. That's what we all want, and that's what will happen because we want it to. Okay, so what I just need you guys to do, if you haven't already, is eliminate all distractions. So you should know the drill by now, but if you haven't, please switch off your mobile phone, shut your door, grab a pen and paper, and shut down any other distractions you have, whether that's your browser's still open and you've got loads of other websites on there, social media, Facebook, Twitter. Shut everything down and just give yourself this 1 hour in the 24 that is of today for your own education. Okay, so what we're going to do now, guys, is jump in. First of all, if you could all just let me know that you can hear me loud and clear. So if everybody can just post up into the message that you can hear me, into the message box down the bottom there. Can you hear me loud and clear? Always important to check the audio. Okay, you should now be seeing my screen. Okay. Tell me that you can hear that. Just drop a message in the box. That would be absolutely awesome. That you can hear me loud and clear. I'm just going to hit the record button now as well. So we've got this for posterity. And you can watch it again and again and again to really grab what we're talking about. Okay, so we are now recording. This is Alex Chisnell. We are Thursday, 7th of January, 5 Figure Fitpros. And we're looking to double or even triple your income and clients in 2016. Absolutely. What we've got tonight is our 4th online training. Tonight we're talking about our client converter. So that is the science of sales and how we convert leads into full paying clients. Okay. So we've got a whole bunch of handouts again tonight, as always, that I'd like to go through with you. And the first candidate we're going to bring up for you. First of all, going to talk a little bit about the process that we're going through here. First of all, I'm just going to switch off Spotify. Bit of a mellow vibe going on tonight, as you can tell, compared to the usual banging, uplifting tunes. But let's crack on. So, as I said, what we're going to talk about today is the science of sales. And Too many businesses leave this up to the individual, and nobody likes to be sold to, but everybody likes buying. I'm sure that's never been illustrated better than over the last couple of weeks, really, or the last month leading up to Christmas. So if you leave the sales process up to individuals without training, the results will depend on far too many factors out of our control as the business owner, from salesperson's mood, what skill set they have, what attitude they bring to the job, and many others that I'm sure you can think about. So what we're going to be giving you tonight is a simple blueprint that you can take away, implement in your own business, no matter what type of business you run, that works, plain and simple. And it doesn't matter if you're a dentist, a builder, or a Fitpro. The process is exactly the same. There's 7 steps that every salesperson should go through in influencing any buying decision. I'm just going to run through those with you now. You may know some of this, you may know all of this, I don't know. So the 7 steps to selling. First one is pre-qualifying. So the pre-qualification process. So we take that out as a lead-in for the 7 steps to selling. So the first stage is the pre-qualification process, which we'll talk you through in a second. And this is key, absolutely key to any sale. And most trainers, Fitpros that I speak to, don't have a pre-qualification process. And it's the same no matter what. So, I've got a couple of different businesses. Sports therapy is different to personal training, and the terminology might differ, and we might tweak a few sentences to really bring out the different pain points that the client, that we're going to focus on with that client. Comparing to somebody who's wanting to lose weight to somebody who's in physical pain and wants us to release that pain. But it's the same, like I say, whether you're a dentist selling somebody new set of dentures, a builder pricing up a new bathroom or kitchen, or your fitness professional selling fitness programs. Okay, so first point, like I say, is the pre-qualification process. Then we have the 7 steps to selling, which are building rapport, so establishing a rapport with that client. Second one is asking discovery questions or probing questions. The third one is identifying the needs of the customer. The fourth one is building the problem. Okay, we'll go into that in a lot more detail, but you're building up what their problem is, what the challenge they have is. And the fifth one, you're presenting the solution. You are the solution to that problem. And sixth one, the most important one, I guess, is closing the sale. And the 7th one, you may ask, well, if you're closing the sale, why is there another one? Well, that's handling objections. Okay, not everybody is ready to buy. You might not have gone through all 6 of those steps in the correct manner, therefore they are going to have objections. They usually center around price, but not always. And so we go back and we'll look at that, because it's essentially you haven't, you might not have established rapport. You might not have asked enough probing discovery questions. You might not have identified what that customer actually needs. You might not have built the problem up enough, and you may not have presented yourself as the solution in the best frame. So you therefore haven't closed the sale, and you're going to have objections. And that doesn't mean that you can't close that sale. We just have to revisit it and reframe it, and then ask the question again. Okay, so like I say, we have a blueprint that we're going to be giving you tonight, and as well as that, we have a sales tracking sheet. So as well as giving you the blueprint on how to convert these leads into clients, you also need you to track that, to measure that on a weekly, monthly, quarterly, annual basis. If you don't, how do you know you're getting any better? The answer being, of course, you don't. Okay, so a question I'm just going to put out there to you all now is, does anybody have a sales process? And I want to see all of you posting up an answer for me so I can know exactly where we are in the group. How many of you do? How many of you don't? So please just tap in a Y or an N into the box there for me so I can see some answers. Do you have anything? If you could all post up, I can see a few answers, but not everybody's posting up. So so some yes, some no. Okay, yes is good, but by the look of it, no one has pre-qualification. That seems to be the biggest one. The conversations I've had since we started the course. If you do have a pre-qualification, post that up. Let me know. I'd be interested to know if you have that, because personally, I think that is absolutely key to this whole process. Okay, and again, it doesn't matter what services we're selling, whether that's one-to-one, small group, or large group boot camp. Again, whether it's sports massage, sports injury, well, it really doesn't matter. I know quite a few people are posting a question. It honestly, when we talk you through this, and you'll have a look at the sheet there, you'll see it doesn't matter. Like I say, if you're a builder, a dentist, or a Fitpro, it's the same process, absolutely the same. And with that, the sales tracking sheet is key. You need to know your numbers with tracking and measuring. As I said, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly reviews. I'll post it up now, actually. Let's bring that up as the first one. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let me just drop the screen for you guys. Okay, let me find exactly the one that we need. Kind of shifty that along there. Okay, so let me just find my sales tracking. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so here's our sales tracking sheet. Really, 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 really simple, which is how we like it. So I'm just going to open up the screen a bit more for you. Okay, sales tracking for the month of, boom, January. Simple sheet, like I say. All you need to do is put in your client's name. I like to track where these come from, so you might want to put if that's Facebook, whether that's a Google ad you've got running, whether that's through the website, whether that's a referral, etc., etc. If it's a referral, you can go back over to the notes section on the far right, the last box, and just make a note of who has referred them so that you can then reward the referee. Okay, so package size, so what did you sell them? Was that 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 21 days if it's a downsell, which we'll go through. If they gave you a no, if you didn't make a sale, what was the objection that you were unable to overcome? And again, it doesn't mean we've lost the sale. We put them into our nurture campaign and make sure they get our regular emails, newsletters, maybe a birthday, Christmas card, depending on how many clients you have, invitation to events, workshops, etc. Okay, and then is this new or is this a rebooking? So is this a brand new client or is this somebody who has become inactive and is now being activated again? Okay, and then all we do at the end of the week or the month, so I assume for most of you this is going to be done on a monthly basis given the numbers. Like I said, we've just got 20 on this one sheet. If you're running big boot camps, it might be different. And again, with one of our businesses with the sports injury clinic, we typically go through, each therapist will do one of these a week with the numbers that we get coming through. As I said, we are very lucky to be where we are, second busiest leisure centre in the UK. So we do see a lot of people. So all we need to add up here, last column is So here we go, total number of clients, how many clients won or lost. So that simply means how many signed up and how many didn't. Straightforward question. Therefore, what is your percentage? What is your close rate? Okay, so you just need to multiply that as a percentage. Total number of clients, how many of those did you convert to paying clients? That gives you your close rate. So we want to see it, and this is any business, you know, chatting to friends who've got different businesses, whether you're selling second-hand cars or you're selling fitness programs, you want to be around 70, 80% and above. Obviously, we want to be at 100%, but a good number is 70 to 80, and then divide up your total revenue, which is this one here. You can see me swirling around. Total new client revenue for the month. And divide it by the number of clients, and that will give you your average sale. So you might have a 12-month, you might have a couple of 6 months, you might have a bunch of 3 months. Divide it all up and bring out your average price. Okay, so dead simple sales tracking for the month of January. So you've all got that one that you can take away, and all we do is print off new one every week, and each trainer, therapist records. Okay, so we're going to be moving on now. So we've done the sales tracking sheet, like I said, 7 steps to selling, giving you a nice outline. And we're going to move on to step 1 in the process, which is building rapport. Okay, so let me just open the screen back up for you guys. What we'll do is we'll go through each step, and then we'll bring up the blueprint that we have for you guys to go through. So you might want to take notes during this. You will get this as a recording, obviously, as well. But I know, personal experience, you might want to simply take notes to refer back to. Okay, so before we do anything, we are going to look to pre-qualify that client, as I mentioned before to you. It's a very key part of the process, is pre-qualifying. And you might ask, why do we need to pre-qualify someone? Well, your time is valuable, my time is valuable. I don't be wasting time. And I don't mean this to sound harsh in the slightest, but we have so many things that we have to do, especially if you are a one-man band and you are doing the hands-on training, you're also doing the marketing, you're also doing the sales, you're writing programs, etc., etc. So your time is really valuable, and value it. So you don't want to waste time speaking to people who aren't in a position to become your clients. And like I say, I don't mean that harshly, but by pre-qualifying them, and pre-qualification essentially refers to the process of sifting and sorting through your prospects, your leads, before you schedule a consultation. So essentially determine if they are the right fit for you, and conversely, if you're the right fit for them. It works both ways. Sure, you might be thinking now, I'm going to take on every single client that comes to me, but we want to get you to a position where you only want to accept clients that are the right fit for you, that you feel you want to work with. Because believe me, we've all had clients that you don't look forward to going to seeing to, and you want to be in a position where you can red flag that at the outset. Who's they might be really emotionally draining. There might be an emotional time vampire, an energy vampire that suck all the energy and the life out of you, unloading on you constantly. You might not want to work with people like that at the end of the day. So you got to protect and guard your time, and time at the end of the day equals money, especially when you're providing a service. So it's incredibly wasteful to invest your time speaking with somebody that either can't afford your services, or they can't make a decision to buy. And we'll all meet people like that, who are constantly deferring that decision, who are indecisive, can't make the decision. So this gives you the best chance of making the sale and having a great experience before you ever sit down to meet with someone. So pre-qualification is typically done over the phone. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, again, is flip out of this and we'll just run through a little pre-qualification script. And what I should say before we start going through the scripts is that the best way to get really good at any of this, guess what? Is to practice it. might sound obvious, but it's true. And by that I mean role playing it. That's one way to do it. Get somebody you trust and simply role play it with them. Take different roles in it. Each take different turns. Okay, I'm just going to bring mine up now. Okay, give me 2 secs, guys. Thought I had it to hand. There it is, pre-qualification script. Okay, boom, boom. Apologies. Okay, so here we go. Let's put it up to, there we go. Okay, so just going to run through this with you. So consultation, pre-qualifying phone script. So, hi, John. This is Alex from Not in the Gym, returning your call regarding personal training. Have I reached you at a good time? Great. Sometimes you will get people who said, no, I had this the other day. I'm just sat down with my meal. And you're like that. Okay, well, you told me to call you at this time. But anyway, we'll still say great. And we'll arrange another time. So if you're taking an inbound call, it might be, hi, I'm calling about personal training. So again, great. Thanks for your call. I'll be glad to help. So a couple of questions to start with. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and the fitness goals that you have? So finding out if they're serious about you, your services, and what you can provide for them. You are a solution to whatever you're specializing in this industry, whether that is helping people lose weight, feel better about themselves. The list is obviously endless, but can you tell me a little bit about yourself and the fitness goals you have? And you're getting them to do the talking here, and you're just listening. Okay, so you're just listening, making a few notes, and you're going to be using that to provide the solution, to build their problem. Two things: to build their problem, and secondly, to provide the answers, to provide the solution to those. So that's absolutely key here. And the second one, just to gather some more information, can I ask you how you heard about us? So was it a referral? Was it an advert? I'm talking about. Okay, great. There's lots of greats in here. Psychology of it all. Okay, great. Let me give you a little more information about how we work with our clients. And they'll be like that. Okay, brilliant, great. That's what I'm here for. That's what I want to hear about. How do you do what you do? So this is what we recommend saying. Currently, we offer a complete 12, 6, or 3-month program in which we cover everything you need to get the best possible results for your fitness goals. This means you spend a lot of time working with the clients on the nutrition and the exercise components that are required for getting serious results. We have clients that meet with us anywhere from 1 to 4 times a week, depending on your goals, motivation, and budget. Okay, so you're setting the scene here, essentially. So you're setting them up, but they know what to expect by the time that you finish speaking. You offer 3 different programs, so minimum commitment there is 3 months, which might surprise them. But you quantify that by telling them that you get the best results possible You work with them on the nutrition and the exercise. You get serious results, and they have options. You're putting the decision-making process in their hands, okay? As I said, no one likes being sold to, so you give them choices. So people see you once a week, twice a week, 3 times, 4 times a week. And it all depends on what your goals, your motivation, and your budget is. Everybody has a different budget. So you quantify that, but all the programs are generally take that letter out, a 12-week commitment, initial commitment. The investment runs anywhere from, this is where your prices are, I'll just pluck a figure out of thin air, from £400 a month, depending on which options you choose and what's best for you. And this is the one line that you have to ask. Is that in your budget? Is that in your budget? I'll repeat it. It's that important. And again, you can picture a builder asking you this when he's giving you options to have your kitchen done, or an electrician who's putting in a new sound system, or somebody at the local travel centre selling you a holiday. Is that in your budget? No? Okay. You've just pre-qualified them. They're not the type of client for you. So you get their information if you haven't already got it and refer onwards. So again, we can stick this client in a long-term nurture campaign. We keep their details, keep their email, phone number, etc., which you've already got, because it might be in their budget further down the line. You don't know if they're get a new job, they get a pay rise, or their partner does, etc. Keep that information. Don't throw it away. Makes me cry when I ask people, "What have you done with all your old client information?" Binned it. What? Makes me want to cry. So if they say yes, however, continue to pre-qualify. Great. The next step is to schedule your consultation. Consultations generally take 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, I always say. Our next available appointments are, fill in the gaps. So next Monday at 12 o'clock or Wednesday at 9 o'clock. Which one works best for you? They'll reply, great. And then give them a little bit more information, just to tee them up with what you're going to do. So during our consultation, we'll ask you some more questions. We'll review your goals in more detail. And then if we have a good fit, we'll present our different program options to you. Providing you like what we have to offer, I'll ask you to make a decision about committing to your goals and one of our programs. You can answer yes or no. Honestly, either answer is okay. So what we're saying here is an upfront contract to make a decision. It gets rid of those people who want to think it over. You want a yes or a no. You don't want to, I'm just going to think it over. And you just say, is that all right with you? Another great, obviously. And then just confirm all the information. So thanks very much, John. Just to confirm, I'll be seeing you next Monday at 12 o'clock at... really looking forward to meeting you. So, as I said, just capturing that information is key, whether they pass the sign-up pre-qualification or not. So name, phone, email, mailing address is recommended. Send a follow-up email reminder to that client, reminding them, and this is very important, when the appointment is, directions and more. So anyone who books in with us will get an email reminder, as you probably do with this webinar, reminding them of what date and time of their appointment is, and when they're booking in with us at the clinic, directions on how to find us. So we're in a big, busy leisure centre. And any more information you want to give them. You might want to send them something in advance. You might have a little free ebook you can give them, or some nutrition information, food diary, I don't know, something that gets them excited about wanting to come and see you will be great, I think. And you can set up reminders day before, hour before, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so that's a pre-qualification script. As you can see, it's incredibly simple process. Incredibly simple process, but is absolutely key, and it just flushes out those people who can't afford your services or cannot make a decision to buy. And as I said, your time is so damn precious, you must protect and guard it with your life. Happy with that? Okay. So, moving on. We're now going to go through the 7 steps, and we're going to go through our blueprint for that as well. So first step, as I mentioned, is building rapport. And by that I mean finding common ground, making your client feel comfortable, and to get them talking. You can see in the pre-qualification script there how opening question was designed to get them talking, and just as importantly, if not more so, you listening, picking out vital information that can be used later in the process. At the end of the day, people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. So when you do meet them physically and you set out to build that rapport, smile, look them in the eye, be friendly, ask how they are, how you doing. Pretty damn easy, isn't it? You know, that's a standard requirement to establish trust. I mean, if you think of your favorite client relationships that you've currently got or you've had in the past, no matter what industry that was in, it could be in this industry, it could be another industry, but if you think about your favorite clients, do you know how many kids they have? Do you know the ages and names of their kids? Do you know their hobbies? Do you even know their goals in life, what they're looking to achieve or have success with? Something as basic as where are they from? Are they local? Have they come from somewhere else? And, you know, what's their history? What's their life story? There's a deliberate pause there just to get you to think about that. Because I know when I kind of look back on this when I was writing all this up, I just thought, yeah, you know, some of those clients I really do know where they're from, what they were looking to achieve, what they did in their spare time. Some of them I did, yeah, absolutely. I knew their kids, I knew their names, knew roughly what their ages were, but you know, a lot of them I didn't, and I think that's my fault in hindsight for gravitating to the clients that I have an instant bond with that I really like, that we just something attracted us, something within that relationship, whereas others, it should be the same process that we go through in finding out about them, because it's useful stuff, and it shows them that you like them, and you get to know them, and that gets reciprocated when they trust you. So, as I mentioned, important points about building a rapport is to make eye contact when you first meet someone. Give them a firm handshake, whether you're male or female. Look the part, be professional, have your uniform on, be clean cut, be enthusiastic and full of energy. At the end of the day, if you're knowledgeable during this process, then you can use that to influence the buying decision. You really can, which is obviously key. So, moving on to step 2 in the sequence, we're going to be asking probing or discovery questions. You're asking questions to find out about somebody's needs. As I mentioned in that pre-qualification, tell me a little bit about your health and fitness goals. The most powerful tool you have is the open-ended question. And an open-ended question at the end of the day is any question that they cannot give you a one-word answer, a yes or a no with. So it's a question that requires the other person to share something with you, whether that's an insight into themselves, their history, their past, an opinion that they might have, or whether they're sharing an idea with you. The words we want to be asking here are the W questions, the whats, the wheres, the whens, the whys, and the how, which is obviously a non-W. But you know what I mean. It's those open-ended questions. Okay, so you might want to write that down. What, where, when, why, how. Open-ended questions. And these kind of questions essentially establish you as being knowledgeable, establishing your credibility as the expert, and you maintain control. What you don't want to happen is them start firing off a million questions at you, which does happen. It's happened to me on a number of occasions, and you often get it with obvious alpha males who are trying to establish dominance, and you can't let them establish dominance because you are the expert. You need to remain in control of this process because it is a process, as I've said to you, pre-qualification process leading into a 7-step sales process. So you become an expert with asking these questions because you're able to provide the answers. Okay, so I'm going to just bring you up with the first part of our script. Okay. It's the prequel, we don't want that. Okay, this should be it. Yeah, here we go. So we're back to question number 1, essentially, that we used in the pre-qualification process. So new client consultation form. What's the name of the client? What's the date? And who's the trainer? Is that you? Is that your business partner? Is that an employee? So again, we already know the answer to this because we pre-qualified them, but it's a question that they should be familiar talking about and comfortable talking about. So nice little icebreaker. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your fitness goals. And again, your job here is to listen and, do have a clipboard in front of you. Do write down answers. Don't sit there and not write down a thing because it shows it might look like you're not interested, where you're incredibly interested because you want this sale. You want them as a client. Okay. So next question. Why are your goals important to you? Might sound like they might think, I don't know. Why are you asking me that kind of question? Why is my goal important to me? Well, because it's important to me. Well, that's not a good enough answer. We need to know why it is. We need to get down to the emotion, the real problem here. So, and I've had some very emotional conversations around this with people straight off the bat, because it's not often about just losing weight. It's their perception of how people might see them, how they see themselves, that they don't love themselves. You really get down to the nitty gritty here and find out, why is that goal of losing weight important? It's not just because I feel a bit heavy at the moment. That's not the real reason why the goal is important to them. Okay, So that's incredibly interesting question to ask someone. Why is that goal important to you? And if we're talking weights, how long did it take you to gain this weight? We're just using an obvious example, obviously here. Obviously, how long did it take you to gain this weight? So start drilling down to the severity of this program, how long it's been occurring, how many failed attempts there have been to solve it. So typically, how long did it take you to gain this weight? Well, taken me probably, I used to be 15 stone, and then it went up to about 16 about a year ago, and then last time I weighed myself, it's about 17 and a half. Okay, so it's been about a couple of years now you gained this weight. Right, yeah, well, I suppose it is really. I didn't really think it been that long, but yeah, I guess it must have been. Okay, and have you tried to lose weight before? Yeah, I've tried a few diets before. Oh yeah, okay. So which diets have you been on? Okay, so really start asking questions about this. Um, how much weight did you lose on the diet? Well, I lost 6 pounds. Won a prize at my Weight Watchers, and then at 53 Mars bars and put on another stone the next week. Okay, and then they might come up with something like, and then I employed a personal trainer. Okay, and how did that go then? Well, he had me on the same program for, we did the same workout for um, a year. Really? How much weight did you lose? Well, I lost a stone in the first 6 weeks, and then after that, nothing really changed. Honestly, that's a serious conversation I had with a client years ago. As she'd signed up with a personal trainer who I knew locally and paid him up front for 12 months. Yep. Saw him twice a week, and he made her do the same workout twice a week, 52 weeks, 104 workouts, exactly the same. So we're trying to find out here, Cirrus, how many failed attempts they've had to solve it. So ask those questions. I joined a gym. All those kinds of things that are going to come up in this conversation. Okay. So have you tried to get this weight off in the past? And how many times have you tried? So just leading you into that question. And this is a great question. Why do you think you failed so many times in the past? Okay, we're building the problem here. In case you didn't gather. That's what that question does. You're building that problem. Okay. I mean, this, as you probably gather, this is a critical part of the sale. Asking somebody that question. Okay. So we're really going to start to build the problem. You're bringing your client's needs to the surface here, and you're helping them understand that they do have a problem. Why do you think you failed so many times in the past? They might not have thought about that consciously, but subconsciously, you get some answers there. At the end of the day, if they really committed to losing weight before, that's what we really want to find out here. Okay, so you're building the problem. So what we need to be doing here, building the problem in their eyes, we're then getting a commitment from them, which, like I said, just led you into the next question. How committed are you to achieving your goals right now on a scale from 1 to 10? And you want to get a 10 before moving on. You want to get somebody who is committed to achieving their goals, who's motivated to want to do that. So typically, what you're going to be saying back to them is something along the lines of, so what I've heard you say, John, is that you've put on 2.5 stone over the last 2 years. Is that right? Yeah. And you also told me that you tried and failed to lose this weight on at least 3 occasions. Is that right? Yeah, okay. Well, ultimately, these are all just symptoms of much bigger problems that come from. And then we'll lead you on to the next part of the process. But essentially, it's from not having a plan, not having accountability. And we're going to be able to provide that for you. We're going to make you accountable. We're going to make you committed. And we're going to put a plan together that combines exercise and nutrition elements to get you serious results. If you do have social proof, i.e. testimonials, before and after pictures, this is a great time to introduce that and show them what you've done for other clients in the past. So let me just show you what we managed to do with Dave and Amanda. These are the results they got by committing to one of our programs. And that leads us on to a little transition. So let me tell you a little bit about our program and how we're going to help you solve these problems. Okay. So just have a little review of that. Like I say, that the transition is building the problem is ultimately these are all just symptoms of much bigger problems that come from not having the knowledge of how to put a complete program together, not having a workable plan of action required for your success, and not having support system required to make the lifestyle changes necessary to not only achieve your goals but also maintain them for life. And then, like I say, you want to transition over. Let me tell you a little bit about our program and how we're going to help you solve these problems. And during this whole exercise, what I want to kind of get across to you is ask great questions, get personal as fast as you can in that initial conversation, get into their world. That's what you're trying to do, essentially. Like I said, you want to try and create a deeper bond with them. And everyone's favorite subject to talk about at the end of the day is themselves. So can you get a little deeper? What are your hobbies? What do you do for fun? You obviously have to build up to some of these questions, but that's kind of what I want to get you thinking about really here. And, have a sense of humor, have fun about it. It's not, we don't want to make the whole process as serious can be. We're building rapport here, and sometimes that comes through humor. And commiserate with them. If they want to complain about something, like I mentioned just now with the previous personal trainer, then be a good supportive ear. Oh my God, really? You didn't? Seriously? I've never heard that. That's incredibly unprofessional. Be slagging off another trainer because that's also unprofessional, but you want to commiserate with them. Misery loves company at the end of the day, doesn't it? So if they want to complain about anything from business to personal life, be a supportive ear, and you'll soon escalate that bonding process. Be empathetic and care about them is what I'm trying to say. Be more interested in them than anyone else has ever been. There is a saying, if you want to be interesting, be interested. If you want to be fascinating, be fascinated. And find the common ground. Find the common ground. Hunt for the things that you can relate to, that you've got examples about as well. And mirror them. This online training this week isn't an exercise in body language, but essentially, if you can match their body language and the tonality to what their prospects are doing and sounding like, they'll be making subconscious connections that you're liking them. For example, if the client leans forward, you lean forward. If they tilt their head slightly, you tilt yours the same way. We could spend hours just talking about that subject alone. So it's a very interesting one. But okay. And then we're going to ask them some more information. Excuse me, just going to have a quick drink here. Get a bit of a sore throat. Okay. So we're leading up to presenting the solution. Okay, so we've identified what their needs. We've asked them the questions. We've identified their needs. We've built the problem. And we're presenting the solution. Okay, so this is just more information, like a little transition, like I say, just going to get some more information from you. Tell me a little about your nutrition habits. What kind of stuff do they eat and drink? How many times a day do they do it? What are your energy levels like during the day? How many times were you sick last year? Are you taking any medication or supplements right now? If so, which ones and why? And do you have any other additional health concerns or medical issues that I need to be aware of? Okay. So moving on to okay, so just went over that bit as well with you. So just to put it in a bit more of a formal context, identifying their needs and problem building script. So the transition to identifying their needs is, okay, let me just review. What I've heard you say is, and I've related this to one of our clients because we're doing some training tomorrow with our 3 therapists. So by being in pain, your health is suffering and it's affecting your daily life. So you're repeating back to them the information that you've drawn out of them. Not only that, but you've tried to correct this several times and have or haven't had much success to date. Is that right? So you're holding that mirror up to the client so they can really see the extent of their problems. So until you articulate it, they may not, in all probability, be aware of how much of a problem it is, i.e., we typically see with therapy clients, they've been to see a GP, they've been to see a physio, they've been to see a chiropractor, they might have even been to see an acupuncturist or any other type of therapist, and where, for whatever reason, right down the bottom of that food chain, and people come to us all their hopes and dreams thinking that 60 minutes in a treatment room is going to do the trick, but of course it isn't, which is why we then try to sell them into one of our programs. Like I said, the transition to problem building is, okay, well, this just comes from not having a plan of action to make the necessary changes and maintaining them for life. What I'm going to do now is give you an assessment to get a benchmark of where your fitness is right now. We'll then put a plan of action together and give you a few options to choose from. How does that sound? Fine and dandy, I would have thought, wouldn't you? Okay. And then what you want to do is tell them, and everyone's different here, tell them a little bit about what you can offer them. Tell them this is probably more of your standard consultation. These are the programs we offer. This is how many times client sees us, depending on their goals. What's specific to the programs you're offering, where you're going to train them, if they're visiting you in your facility, whether you're visiting them in your home, or whether you're going to be taking them outdoors. So just run through those options with them, just to make them feel at ease. And then the closing script. Now, based on what you've told me and your goal of losing 2 stone well, we'll just leave it at that, losing 2 stone, it's going to take at least 24 weeks, let's say, to reach your goals. 6 months. I'd say, yeah, but hey, yeah. It's going to take between 24 and 48 weeks to reach your goals. We've got a couple of different programs that are suitable for you. And then you can list your 3 programs. We've got a 12-month, 6-month, and a 3-month program. I would recommend the 12-month or the 6-month program, seeing us twice a week for 24 weeks, 48 weeks, whatever you want to say, whatever you recommend, based on that individual client. Everyone's going to be different, obviously. Someone who's coming in to lose half a stone, you're not going to recommend seeing them for a year, really. You might give it, you're going to list that as one of the options, 12, 6, and 3 months. But like I say, no one likes buying. Nobody likes selling, being sold to, but everyone likes buying. So you are putting them in the driving seat to make that decision. So we're not beating them over the head here with a metal bar. Okay, I want to make that really clear, guys. I recommend the 12-month or the 6-month program, seeing us twice a week for 48 weeks, with a 48-week option being better value with, and then list the other benefits that they're going to get from that. I.e., if you're selling them your top program, what benefits does that top program come with it that's going to set it out from the other programs? Simple question again, just like before when we're doing the pre-qualification, is that in your budget? This is the simple question here. Which would you prefer to go with? You're not saying, would you like to sign up? You're giving them an option. So no is not an option here. You're giving them two choices, your recommendation. Okay? Sure, they still might say no. Okay? And we're going to have a downsell. So I hope you've all got something you can downsell them to. And I would recommend something like a 21 or 28-day Kickstart program, which is a much lower barrier to entry. And they can get results in that 3 to 4 week time scale. And then you'd look to upsell them because you establish rapport. They like you. You get results. Okay, so great. I could book the program for you now and book your first session in now. So what I recommend doing is having all of your paperwork with you to sign them up there and then. Card machine, something like Go Cardless, you can set them up on a direct debit. I think it's 1% they charge. Instead of having to get them to fill out a standing order form and do it through the banks and all that, you literally, best way, do it there and then, get them signed up. You're not being pushy. This is just what you do. This is part of the process. This is how professional you are. You've got everything with you. You've got a card reader, for example, so you can take their card payment, set them up on a monthly program instead, offer discount. If they're paying up front, we typically offer 12-month 15%, 6-month 10%, 3-month 5%. Don't deviate from that. Obviously, if there's a difference between losing and closing a sale, and some people always like to feel that they're getting a bargain, then add something of value instead into that mix. Whatever it might be that you can add to them. Maybe it's a nutrition consultation that you value at, for example, £55. So, what I'm going to give you, okay, what I'm going to throw into that is, and there you go, your nutrition consultation, a 60-minute sports massage consultation. That's how we do ours. Package deal, 3, worth just under £200, £197. Okay, so that's what we want you thinking about. So, hour is up, and I didn't want to go into this in great detail, but I am going to touch on it if you want to hang around. Shall I? Yes, I shall. Okay, guys, so let me have a quick, okay, so I'm just going to briefly touch on this one. Okay, so how to overcome the 4 common objections in closing a prospect on your services. So, like I just said in the last closing script there, not everybody, you're not going to sign up everybody. You're going to get objections, okay? And that usually comes from not having carried out one of those 7 steps correctly. Usually the pre-qualification, because it usually comes down to price. And if you haven't pre-qualified them, you haven't asked them that question, is this in your budget? And sometimes people, of course, let's say, yeah, that's in my budget. Yeah. You go buy a car, Ferrari salesman, is this in your budget? Yeah, I can't afford a Ferrari. Well, no, you can't afford a Ferrari. Not now. You will do. But we like to think we can. Might to give that bit of bravado or whatever. So you might get the same thing. Someone says they can afford your services when they can't. So the objections will come out. But you must commit to follow the same procedure every time and do not fall off track. And again, performances will improve, especially the more you role play. But if you stick to the process, you'll always remain in control. That is our number one goal as a sales professional, and we're all sales professionals. So 5 steps for handling objections are listening to it. Simple as. Which one of these 2 programs would you like to go for? A or B? Objection is neither. Sorry, I can't afford that. Question the objections to clarify it. Okay, so you can't afford it. Get them to answer that and then confirm the answer to remove that objection, and then ask for the close again. So, which are the 2 options? So I'm going to go through, we're just going to go through one of these, each of the common objections and role play handling each one. So 9 times out of 10, it will be price. That's too expensive. So what this lead prospect is really saying is that you haven't built the problem big enough for them to justify the value of that investment. Okay? Or they might say, they might say, I might need help financing that. Or they might say, I'm completely broke and have no money or available credit. And like I said earlier, it's your fault for not pre-qualifying them correctly up front before wasting your time and their time with the consultation. They're just kicking tires, and they're just price shopping, going from one to another. And the way to overcome this objection is flush it out, see if it really is price or if it's financing. So if it's financing, we may be able to overcome that with a payment plan. Like I say, set them up with something like Go Cardless on a monthly payment plan instead of offering it. They might just think you're asking for them to pay it all up front. So just rebuild the problem, what their problem is, agree on the length of time, the number of sessions to reach that goal, to re-justify the value of the package. So rebuild the problem and the intensity of it, and rebuild the commitment to solve it. Or a good one here is, do you guarantee what you do? Because that reverses the risk. It takes away any risk for them. I'm going to guarantee that you're going to lose that 2 stone in the next 12 months, or I'll give you your money back. Wow. If you've got the social proof, and I'll be amazed if they do ask for their money back, after 12 months, because you will get them results. They will like you, they will trust you. So you need to prove your case, why you are the best solution to solve their problem. Excuse me. So, simple role play here is prospect says, that's too expensive. You say, okay, what makes you say that? Well, hell of a lot of money, a lot more than I expected to spend. Okay, well, remember when you said that you wanted to lose 2 stone? And I explained that it's going to take 6 to 12 months to do that. And for the best results, we recommend coming in 2 or 3 times a week. When you do the maths, the investment works out to be £800, which is just as we stated. Is that correct? Yes. Or they could say, yeah, but that is too much money for me. You? Okay, great. How would you like to pay for it? Take the order and close the sale. Or, no, if they literally just do say that last answer, no, it's still too much money. No, okay, well, let's back that up a little bit. When you walked through the door, I'm sure you had a number in mind that you were willing to invest to begin achieving your goals. What were you planning to invest? So this is a great way. When they first came to see you, everybody has a number in mind. Everyone has a figure that they're willing to spend, what their budget was. So you're flushing that out of them. It gives you a figure to work with, okay? So they can say, I planned on investing £300. Well, £300 is only going to get you around, you could say, 1 session a week for 6 weeks. And we're not going to be able to reach your goals in only that short period of time. Now, if you want to start at £300 for 6 weeks and work your way up, that's okay. But it's going to take 6 to 12 months to reach your goals. And I'd hate for you to not get the most value by missing out on the discounts we offer with our larger packages. So you stated you've invested over £3,000 consistently, failed every time over the past several years to get and maintain your results. Now, we're offering you a comprehensive program that's proven to not only get results, but we're guaranteeing your success 100%. I think you'd agree this is a pretty reasonable investment to finally reach your goals once and for all and maintain them for life, wouldn't you? I guess so, when you put it that way. Or, yes, but it's still too expensive. Again, if they say, I guess so, then which package would you prefer to go with? Close the sale, use the financing or payment plan option again if necessary to complete closing the sale. Or, again, you ask for the sale again, or you use a down sell, as I mentioned before, as a last resort. Okay, then and this is what you could very well do, and what I have done before as well, is, rather than lose the sale, okay, well then what I would recommend is that we would at least start with a 1-month program and get you going. We can always reevaluate later and see if things have changed. How does that sound to you? I guess that would be okay with me. Okay, so that's why I recommend everybody having a downsell, a 21, 28-day program. 28 days is probably the best, a 1-month program, because anyone coming to you is going to have a figure in mind for their services. Like I said, if they're coming in and you're saying, yeah, it's going to cost you £400, and they go, oh, I literally thought it was going to cost me about £200. You say, okay, well, why don't we start with the £200? This is what I could do for you. Start with a 1-month program to get you going. We can always reevaluate it in a month and see how things are going, see how things have changed for you. How does that sound? Well, they're motivated to come and see you, motivated to reach out to you and make that call in the first place. So there's a pretty high chance that they want to sign up for something. Okay, like I said, I just wanted to touch on that with you. Other objections you get are usually the non-committal. I want to think it over. That's pretty standard one. Or I want to talk it over with my husband or wife. And the other one is, they want to choose a lower package. They're looking for the downsell. So they're not serious client at the end of the day. Okay, guys, so just a recap. Excuse me while I have another glug. So just a recap on tonight's online training. It's all about the sales of science and giving you a blueprint, no matter what your fitness business is, on how you can guarantee signing up, converting leads to full paying clients. And that script will do that for you. Okay, we've got different elements to that. We've got the pre-qualification. We're going to be building rapport with that client. We're going to be asking probing and discovery questions. We're going to be identifying customer needs. Then we're going to build the problem, hold the mirror up to them, and present the solution, which is you. And then we're going to close that sale. And lastly, handle any objections that we might get. And we're also going to track every single one of these consultations that we have with our sales tracking sheet. Okay, what I've added to the documents tonight as well is something that I do every year, which is my annual roadmap and strategic plan, designed to do over Christmas and New Year, but I know I gave you a hell of a lot to do over that period anyway. So we'll be booking in with you next week, guys, for a call. If you want to fill this out, please do. I'll just bring it up here quickly, divide it into a bunch of different sections. We're just reviewing your last year and planning the next year, both in business and personally. You might not want to address all of these questions. You might do. You might want to dip in and dip out. For me, the most important if you just do one, section 4 and then some, complete 1 in 30 for 2016. So what this is 8 different areas of your life, the wheel of life, which you may or may not have heard of. Don't think I'm talking hocus pocus here. I was never into anything like this myself years ago, but now it forms a core part of what I do and what I believe in. Breaking down your life into these 8 elements. So looking at your inner life, your spiritual life, your physical health and conditioning, family life, your career, financials, your social or circle of genius is another way of calling it, adventure, what's adventurous in your life, and the legacy, your impact, what you want to leave behind, and having a goal for each one of these over the next 30 days or 21 days. Is it for the rest of this month? Something like that, a little bit longer. And then doing the same again, February, March, April, May, June, July. So you'll have a total of 8 goals to complete every month. And the more specific, objective, and measurable these goals are, the better. So please be specific. What goal do you have within your inner spiritual life? Maybe it's you want to meditate every day for 15 minutes. Maybe it's you want to go to church again. Physical health and conditioning. Maybe it's I want to lose 2% body fat by end of January. Family. Maybe it's I want to have a family day out every Sunday. That is a family day. That day is sacred. This is what we're going to do. And the list goes on. So just one for each. Career. What can you do? What goal can you have this month? Is there a course you can do to get you further along in your career? Do you want to set a target for how many clients you want to take on, or a figure you want to reach? Financial. So again, that can be similar to the last one I mentioned. I want to make X amount of money this month. I want to get my finances in order this month. I want to employ a bookkeeper. That's my one. Got an accountant. I need a bookkeeper. So social circle of genius. So this one is, you'll get far quicker by building with others than on your own. So you could set up a mastermind of your own with your friends. So it could be something as simple as goal this month. I will meet up, I'll contact someone I haven't seen in years who means a lot to you, that somebody you respect. That could be a goal. Adventure. So for me, I'm signing up for a physical challenge. That's my adventure. What's it called? Race the Sun, Chase the Sun? I can't remember now. Anyway, involves hiking, cycling, and kayaking. So that's my adventure, box ticked. And legacy. So what do you want to leave behind? What kind of impact do you want to have? What could you do this month? Maybe you want to launch an online course, for example. Something you could leave behind. Have a think about that. Other things, what is your why? What moves you? What's your purpose? Okay, now 1:15. So, as you all know by now, I like to run over by 15 minutes, but I just like to give you so much content I want to give you guys, and that was something that I know some of you be really interested in. Some of you might not be so much, but it's a great life diagnostic, really. It not only reviews your business, it reviews yourself and where you're at. Okay, so I hope you've all enjoyed tonight's online training. I'm going to leave it there. You'll hear from us. Got a new admin called Tina, who's great, and she will be in charge, posting out some emails, finding out what times you guys are available next week, and we'll jump on a call, and we'll be back again this time next week, next Thursday. What we want to do essentially is give you all these tools now before we give you some templates on specific campaigns that you could be running. I want to give you the right mindset and give you some blueprints that, before we set out these campaigns. What I don't want to see is, it's like picking up a handful of sand and seeing the grains run through your fingers, and seeing that money run through your fingers because you're not set up with the right pre-qualification process, the right sales script. So we want to get all of this in place now before you start getting these clients calling up and you scheduling in pre-qualification calls with them and then consultation. So giving you all the tools necessary to be as successful as possible. Okay. Have a great end to the week, everybody. I hope you enjoyed tonight's webinar, and we'll catch up with you on the other side. Okay. Have a good one. And see you next week. Bye-bye.